Do I start?
You may start whenever you're ready.
I know everyone here has a certain country or a certain city that they want to go to outside the United States. So can I have any volunteers to tell me?
Prague. Check right.
Greece. Ireland.
So I want to encourage you guys to actually study abroad in those places instead of visiting them for a few days or a couple of weeks, because you're going to gain so much more out of that experience. Because in today's globalizing world, everyone's connected through the internet, and all the countries are connected through interdependent economies, which makes it working with people who are different than you culturally and ethnically, it makes that skill much more important now than ever before, and you're going to have to know how to do it regardless of what career you want to get into. I personally studied abroad in Madrid 2 summers ago, and it was probably the greatest experience of my entire life. And I think everyone here should study abroad for 3 main reasons. The first being that you get to meet people from around the world. You get to enhance your awareness of the world, and you come away with a greater sense of independence and self-reliance. So I'm going to elaborate on all 3 of those reasons. You meet new friends from around the world. When you go to wherever country you're going to, you're not only going to meet the natives there, but there's going to be international students there. There's going to be tourists from around the world there, and it's just a very refreshing experience to talk to different people who have different perspectives on things, who might not speak the best English. When I was in Madrid, I met people from Switzerland, from London, Mexico, Australia, Iceland, just all over the place. And you also learn a lot more from them than, like, they teach you things that you never would have realized before. Like when I spoke to my Swiss friend, she was fluent in 6 different languages, which is the norm for Swiss people. She spoke fluent English, Spanish, French, German, and Czech. And I thought that was pretty amazing. And you also pick up like a little of their culture. Like Europeans in general tend to emphasize relationships and, you know, the wellness of the group instead of pursuing material goals, like, you know, getting the most money or going after that promotion. That's kind of the emphasis here in the United States. And also, when you meet new friends from on an international scale, you sort of act like as ambassadors from the United States, because, you know, we don't really have the greatest reputation worldwide. And so if you go and meet someone from London and they know that you're from the United States, and you know, you guys hit it off, like, that just helps this country even more. And I said, expand awareness of the world. So you're going to be there, and that's the best way to pick up the native country's language, because you're there in its natural setting with its native speakers speaking it the way it's supposed to be spoken. When I was in Spain, within the first 2 weeks, I was speaking the best Spanish that I've spoken since I was a child, and that was when I used to be fluent. So I was very happy about that. And again, like, you're gonna pick up the culture, the mindset, the way that people carry out their daily activities. You're gonna see it all in its natural setting, and you're gonna pick that up. Like in Spain, everything's a lot more slow pace, a little more relaxing, and they don't really have like that sense of urgency that exists here. So that's just like another way of becoming aware of like how different people live in the world. And also you get to see not just that country, but you get to see other places, because when you're abroad, you're closer to other countries and you might be able to see them instead of when you're here, you might not be able to travel that far. When I was in Madrid, we took a round-trip flight to Barcelona for only 80 euros, which was roughly $100 US at the time. And we were only there for a few weeks. If we were there for the whole semester, we could have gone to France, Germany, Rome, wherever. because traveling throughout Europe is a lot cheaper. So you get to travel on a greater scale, and you get to see more of the world that way. And also, when you're abroad, you get a greater sense of awareness for yourself as well, because you're put into new situations, and you might not expect your reactions. I've always considered myself kind of shy, and I've always liked being around home, which is a big reason why I came here. I always liked being in my comfort zone. But then when I went to Spain, I discovered that I loved being like miles and miles away from home without any like friends or support group. I enjoyed that a lot, and I also enjoyed speaking to foreigners. Like the less English they spoke I preferred if they spoke less English, because I just saw it as a challenge to communicate across those barriers. And this is the reason I think is the most important when you study abroad, is that you gain a sense of self-reliance. Because you're out there in a whole new country by yourself, you don't have your parents, you don't have your friends. You're responsible for your own food, for your well-being. You're responsible to learn how things work, how to get around using public transportation. You have to know where the university is. You have to know where the classrooms are. No one tells you any of that stuff. You have to figure it out on your own. And I just thought it was so different, and it was so, enlightening. And you would never think to go through any of those issues here. But, in my case, since I spoke the most Spanish in our group, I felt kind of responsible for them in a way, because whenever we ate out, I would order for them. Whenever they needed directions to get somewhere, I'd have to ask for them. If they ever needed something, that's not very generic, I would help them out with that. And you just come back and you're really like an adult. It sounds very corny, but it's true, because if you can make it out there in a whole different country with a different culture and without anybody speaking the language really, and you could definitely make it here and make an impact for yourself. And besides those 3 reasons, there's plenty of other great reasons. You can impress your employers, because everyone loves students that study abroad, because like I said, interacting with people of different cultures is extremely important. You also get away from the boring routine of registering for classes, the same 5 or 4 classes every semester. Everyone hates that. So you can get out of that, take only 2 or 3 classes abroad, and have just the time of your life. And I can promise you that it will be the most fun you've ever had in your whole life when you study abroad. And I'm going to show you this video, which I thought really captured the message that I'm trying to convey to you guys. So you guys get the picture. And the 3 reasons that I emphasized were the ones that I valued the most when I studied abroad, which were, you enhance your awareness of the world, you make new friends from all around the world, and you grow more independent. But that's just what I took out of it. If you guys study abroad, you're probably going to find your own reasons why you like it or your own values that you get out of it. But there's one thing that I promise everyone here is if you study abroad, it's going to be the greatest experience of your life.